The Rothschild banking dynasty is widely regarded as one of the wealthiest families in history. But they also became the subject of many stories, rumors, and a fair share of conspiracy theories, making it difficult to discern fact from fiction. Nonetheless, it is undeniable that the Rothschilds have built one of the greatest fortunes in history, especially considering the rampant anti-Semitism that persisted during their earliest days as a famous Jewish family. In this video, we will explore how they managed to achieve such success. Let's travel back in time to medieval Europe, where the story of the Rothschilds begins. During this period, Europe was predominantly Christian, and being Jewish posed many challenges. The Jews, who didn't have a country of their own, were scattered across the continent. Some of them settled in a city called Frankfurt, located in the Holy Roman Empire. In Frankfurt, the Jews were confined to a specific neighborhood known as the Judengasse, or Jewish Alley. This neighborhood consisted of narrow streets lined with tightly packed houses. Each house was identified by a sign, such as the House of the Ship, or the House of the Golden Stone. Among these houses was one with a sign displaying a red shield, which in German is Rothschild. The family residing in that house had carried the name Rothschild since at least 1528. Like many Jewish families of that time, the Rothschilds were involved in finance. Christianity forbade lending money with interest, but the Jews were allowed to engage in money lending. This led them to specialize in finance-related activities, such as currency exchange and trading collectible coins. Their expertise in these areas was passed down from one generation to the next. One member of the family, Mayer Rothschild, proved to be particularly skilled in finance. In 1763, Mayer took over the family business and amassed an extensive collection of coins, attracting the wealthiest aristocrats in the Holy Roman Empire. Among his clients was Crown Prince Wilhelm of Hesse, who entrusted Mayer with all his financial matters. When Wilhelm ascended to power as Wilhelm IX of Hesse in 1785, he appointed Mayer as his financial manager, or court Jew. This arrangement was common in Central Europe, where nobles sought the assistance of Jewish individuals to handle their finances in exchange for protection and financial support. Mayer's responsibilities included safeguarding Wilhelm's wealth, a task that became increasingly challenging in 1806 when Napoleon invaded Hesse. However, Mayer had prepared for such an eventuality. In 1798, he sent his son Nathan to London to establish a currency business similar to their family's. When Napoleon's invasion threatened Wilhelm's fortune, Mayer swiftly moved the funds to London and loaned them to the British government. In essence, Wilhelm's wealth was being used to fund the British in their fight against Napoleon, with the goal of restoring Wilhelm's power. In 1812, Mayer Rothschild passed away, leaving his son Nathan to carry on the family legacy in London. Meanwhile, Mayer's four other sons established their own branches of the family business in different European capitals. Although geographically separated, the brothers implemented a unified strategy. They offered loans to governments and aristocrats, solidifying their financial influence across Europe. For instance, one brother became the banker of Leopold I of Belgium, while another lent money to the last Holy Roman Emperor, Francis II. In recognition of their success, the five brothers were granted the noble title of Baron in 1818 by Francis II, officially elevating them to the status of Rothschild barons. Throughout the following decades, the Rothschilds maintained their prominence by providing loans to governments during times of political upheaval. Whether it was the aftermath of the French Revolution of 1830 or the collapse of the Holy Roman Empire, the Rothschilds were often the first to step in with financial support. Their lending business flourished, and the Paris branch alone witnessed remarkable growth, increasing its value from the equivalent of $5 million in 1820 to over $500 million in 1850. Alongside their government loans, the Rothschilds also engaged in various private investments during the 19th century. In 1868, they acquired one of France's most valuable wine estates, solidifying their presence in the wine industry. In 1875, they purchased a minority stake in the Suez Canal from Egypt, a strategic move with long-term financial benefits. Additionally, in 1883, the family funded the development of a significant oil well in the Old World, challenging the Rockefeller monopoly in America. Their investments extended to major companies, with majority shareholdings in the diamond monopoly of De Beers and the mining giant Rio Tinto. However, as the 20th century unfolded, the newer generations of Rothschilds faced greater challenges in preserving their wealth. In 1900, the branch in Naples came to an end when the last male heir passed away without any children. The fortune of the branch in Germany also suffered because the two Rothschild heirs had only daughters, leading to the division and subsequent dissipation of their wealth and power. Tragedy struck even harder during the rise of Nazi Germany. In 1938, when Hitler annexed Austria, the Austrian Rothschilds were forced to sell their banking operations at a fraction of their actual value. The family had to leave behind their mansions, businesses, and cherished artworks. In a desperate attempt to secure the release of one family member captured while trying to escape, they paid what was then the largest ransom in history, $21 million. The ransom has effectively bankrupted the Austrian Rothschilds, leaving them with nothing. The Nazis also took advantage of their situation and seized all their mansions, businesses, and art. The branch in Paris faced a similar fate. Hitler and his close associate, Hermann Göring, personally visited the Rothschild collections, carefully selecting and seizing thousands of valuable objects. Unfortunately, the majority of these artworks were never returned to the family. Despite these setbacks, the French Rothschilds managed to rebuild their businesses. However, in 1981, the French socialists further disrupted their financial endeavors by nationalizing their bank. By the end of the 20th century, only the English branch of the Rothschilds remained with its fortune relatively intact. Sir Evelyn Rothschild, a prominent figure during the second half of the century, served as a financial advisor to Queen Elizabeth. Upon his retirement in 2003, David Rothschild, a member of the Paris branch, took over the family leadership and merged both branches into a single entity. To maintain the secrecy of their fortune, the Rothschilds established a complex network of shell companies, initially in Switzerland and expanding into other locations. While the Rothschild family was undoubtedly one of the wealthiest of the 19th century, their influence and power have significantly diminished over time. Today they are but a mere shadow of their former glory. If you were to look at the Forbes list of billionaires, the first and the only Rothschild as of 2023 is ranked relatively low at number 776, and his name is Jeff Rothschild. However, it's important to clarify that Jeff Rothschild has no connection to the Rothschild banking family. He just happens to share the last name. In conclusion, the Rothschild family, once a powerful force in the banking world of the 19th century, has seen its influence wane over time. While they may have been one of the wealthiest families in history, the Rothschilds are now but a mere blip in the realm of global wealth.